West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
The thing didn't even, I was about to restart this live and everything. Jaja. Didn't even play the intro, nothing. You know what? Further, I don't even have my Jamaica flag behind me. But you know what, people? See this live? This live can only go for 40 minutes. You see my bucket hat? I bought this bucket hat in Cardiff yesterday. There was one of them, there's one of them touts in Cardiff. And when I turned up at the game, he was trying to sell it for £20. I said, bro, I'll catch you at the end. I said, after West Indies lose, buck me at the end. And I said, we'll see if you're still going to charge £20 then. When I came out, I said to the man, how much you charging now? Because I know all stocks must go. I said, West Indies were down bad. How much are you going to sell me this bucket hat for? Just know, corner man, just know I got it cheap. So I got my West Indies bucket hat on. I'll be turning up at the Oval tomorrow with my bucket hat in search of another L. So far, I've seen one W in Ireland, a big L in Birmingham, a small L in Cardiff. What's going to happen tomorrow at the Oval? Will I get the hat trick of L's? I haven't booked my flight for Ireland, Northern Ireland yet, mainly because I looked at the price and I was like, I don't even know if I can afford that, because the flight from London to Derry is hella expensive. The only option seems to be to go from London to Belfast, which is relatively cheaper. And then I don't even know, like get a train from Belfast to Derry. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Northern Ireland isn't going to happen. I don't know. Maybe I won't go on this. Maybe I'll fly on the Saturday and only go for the Sunday match. I don't know how it's going to work. Jaja. So what are we going to discuss, people? Yesterday, West Indies lost the second ODI and therefore the series to England. We made 308 runs and England chased it with 7 balls to spare. Joe Root hit him 166 not out. It was a brilliant knock from Root. He hit 166 not out to guide England home. Now, I'm going to just read something, because there's so much to discuss. We have to talk. People want to talk to me about Hetty's big belly. We can talk about that. I saw it live and in person. The belly's big, yes. Hetty's side profile is nuts. The side profile is nuts. Hetty, for all I know, Hetty's watching this in his hotel room right now. And to be fair, if Hetty is watching this in his hotel room, he can swing the bat at me tomorrow. I don't mind. But I'm going to quickly show you, man. Hold on. Let me come off the screen. Hetty's side profile was looking like this. I was looking through the binoculars going, no, that can't be right. I said, that must be because his jumper's too big. Like, it can't be right. Man's side profile was looking like this. I said, Jaja. I said, no, Jaja. This can't be right. This can't be right. It's a dark feeling to have. Let me come off the screen. You know what? It's I'm not even trying to run a comedy show. I'm not even trying to run a comedy show. I'm just talking the talk. The thing is, one of these days, a West Indian player is gonna tump me up. And the thing is, I'm not even trying to dig anyone out. I'm just saying what I saw. Yeah, see, and your boy NG, he was there. He was sitting behind me. Big up NG, by the way. Met him yesterday in Cardiff. NG and his peoples. So he was sitting beside this. This is a true story. NG will back me up here. So I went with Dan, and I was watching Hetty from like he was fielding at like mid wicket or something, and obviously all of the people in the West Indian section were commenting on it, going, "Boy, Hetty's belly, man, it looks big. This ain't normal. What's going on?" And so Dan said to me, I was going to Dan. Now I think maybe it's his shirt that's big. And then Dan said, "I've got some binoculars. Do you want to have a look?" So he gave me the binoculars. So I'm focusing in like this. And I'm like, rah, rah. And then I gave them to NG behind me. And I said, "Have a look through this." I said, "Focus in." Now, some of you will say that it's fat shaming, but it's not even that. It's not even that. And I'm not saying that Hetty's not fit. I'm not even saying that, because Hetty's actually a really good outfielder. He's an excellent boundary rider. And actually he's a good close infielder as well. So I'm not saying the man is big. And that hinders his ability in the field per se. I'm not saying that. But I am saying, and I think it's fair to say, that Hetty has not maximized his ability. Like when his career finally ends, let's say he doesn't go on to reach the heights that we all thought he would. I think it would be fair to say he's not maximized his true ability. But then again, he's got millions in his bank, and I don't. So who should really be talking? I can't talk because I ain't got the money that he's got. So more fool me. So we got to talk about Hetty. Multi was down bad yesterday. I felt sorry for Multi yesterday. I felt sorry for him because the time to bowl Multi yesterday, and again, those of you who are at the game in Cardiff, you would have heard me saying this. When Brooke got out, I think it went for I think Zari got him to pull one. Was it Brooke? I think it was Brooke. When Brooke got out, when Zari got him to pull one to Jaden at deep fine, I said to whoever was next to me, Multi has to come in now. If he's going to bowl, he's got to come in now. I think England was something like 80 odd for 4. And I thought at the time, I was like, this is the time. Don't give Multi the ball when the game's slightly getting away from us. Give him the ball in an advantageous position. I think it was after Brooke, because Bethel came to the crease. I think it was after Brooke, because Bethel came to the crease and he barely didn't have any runs yet, and Root was still early in his innings. And I was thinking, okay, throw the ball to Multi now. Let him bowl in a period where we're on top. And by the time they gave the ball to Multi, I think we were like 29 overs deep or something like that. And he started with a full toss and then just carried on bowling some pies. And it was like, oh, rah. And now remember, Multi's a frontline bowler. How many did he bowl yesterday? 4, 5? So he bowled so badly yesterday or loose that we couldn't even make him bowl out. And if your frontline bowler's not bowling out, what can you do? And people are messaging me going, Hope should have bought his quicks back earlier. And I get it, right? So here's the thing, right, with West Indies cricket. I need to charge my phone. 1 second. Here's the thing with West Indies cricket, and this is something I've noticed a lot. And some of you who are watching this live right now are super guilty of it. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent because I'm waiting for 150 to get into the live before I start doing anything. I sent this message into my uncle's group chat yesterday. Because it got heated yesterday, where, as you do after a West Indies game, it got heated. And this is a message I sent. Let me find it. Here we go. And I think this applies to a lot of you watching this live right now, a lot of you watching this on the replay. Listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Start again, because I want, this one's got to land. The classic mistake too many West Indian fans make when looking at West Indies cricket is confusing what they would have done with what is likely to happen and why. Let me say that one again. Listen carefully. The classic mistake too many West Indian fans make when looking at West Indies cricket is confusing what they would have done with what is likely to happen and why. Now, you might say, Mash, that's just all team fans. But I think because we see so many L's, West Indian fans specialize in saying this is to blame, that is to blame. And obviously, Sammy's the current head coach. Sammy should have done this. Hope should have done that. No, that's to blame. No, this is to blame. No. And I always think to myself, yeah, but you're looking for the silver bullet answer. And there is no silver bullet answer, right? And whenever I hear like all these like people just rain down with the reasons and the excuses and the this and the that, and I'm always thinking, but no. First, you've got to look at it as, why are we doing what we're currently doing on the pitch? Because there's always a reason. There's always a reason. So first remove what you think should have happened and first try to understand why we might have done what we did. That doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but start by trying to understand why we did what we did. So, for example, lots of people, I'm going to come back to Multi in a minute and all of that. So, for example, lots of people are upset that Jewel Andrew opened. And loads of people are messaging me going, Graves should have opened, or Hope should have opened, or this man should have opened. You can't ask an 18-year-old to open. You're sending them into the lion's den. And I just said, I got it. I totally understood why Jewel Andrew opened. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. I think it's relatively straightforward why he opened. Look, Fireballs just said it. You're not going to move Hope from 4 to open. Hope is at 4 for a specific reason in this side. When the spinners come on, Hope is the only player in our side that knows how to bat like Joe Root, right? And by that, I mean manipulates gaps. Doesn't mean he's always going to hit sixes. Doesn't mean he's always going to hit fours, but will just tick over at a runner ball and will find the gaps, will run hard twos, etc. Hope's the only player in our team that is an expert in doing that. And he controls the tempo of our innings as a result. So you're not going to suddenly move Hope from 4 to 1 to ask Jewel Andrew to come later on. That don't make no sense because no one else can do what Hope does in the middle. So that ruled Hope out. Graves had already tried in the game before. They probably didn't even want to try Graves again because they're now wedded to this fact that Graves is a number 6, right? And again, yes, you possibly could have put Graves to open, but then what are you expecting Andrew to do at number 6 then? You could have done Hetty, could have put Hetty there, because if you already think that Hetty can't make runs, you could have put Hetty to open and said, just try lash some balls, Hetty. But again, Hetty's role in the side, obviously, well, who knows what Hetty's role in the side is, but Hetty's a big hitter. If he ever come off again for the West Indies, he's a big hitter. In the absence of a Rutherford, for example, Hetty's your left-handed big hitter, right? So when you look at it like that, the obvious person to put to open for me was Jewel Andrew, because his wicket was the only wicket that was a bonus sacrifice wicket. And what I mean by that is, any runs he would have got anywhere he batted in the West Indies order would have been seen as bonus runs for a Ute man. So I just think they looked at him and went, listen, Ute man, just go at the top of the order and try and lash some quick runs. No pressure whatsoever. If you duck out, you duck out. If you score some quick runs, it's a huge bonus. But you don't really have a role anywhere else in the current configuration of the side where we like almost looking at it and going, it's a net negative to put you at 5, 6, or 7. So even if you duck out opening, we're not banking on you doing like playing a significant innings anyway. So it was a free hit. It was like a free hit, no ball free hit. Jewel, you go to the top. If you're out, you're out. So be it. So when people are going mad about it, I was like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Yes, we can argue about should an 18-year-old be put in that position. It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. So that was Jewel, right? Back to Multi. Yes, Multi should have come earlier. But does that speak to the... I mean, here's the thing. I did a video on Gudakesh Multi about 36 hours before or 20, well, I can't remember what it was, 24 to 36 hours before the second ODI started. And you know what? Everything that was said in the video came true in the second ODI. People were messaging me before that second ODI started, replying in the comments below for that video, going, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." So said, so done. Second ODI came, and everything I was speaking about was shown in the second ODI. Multi is down on form. He's down on confidence. Is he being helped with his confidence by letting Roston Chase get, when you throw the ball to Roston Chase to bowl ahead of him? Is that helping his confidence? No. Bringing him on at the 30th over mark to bowl his first over of the game, is that helping him with his confidence? No. But maybe he's in that position because his form is down bad. The bigger question is, how does he get that form back? There's no other spinner in the squad. So it's not like there's anyone who can replace him currently right now. Is he in the T20 squad, actually? T20 squads have just been named. Is he in it? Yeah, he's in it. Okay, so he's in the T20 squads. And obviously Akil Hussain is back. So if Akil Hussain harbours any ambition to come back into the ODI side, all Akil has to do is outbowl Multi in these T20s, and it wouldn't surprise me if Akil suddenly leapfrogs Multi in the next set of ODIs that we play. I think we've got 3 ODIs against Australia, so we'll have some ODIs coming up. It must be on their radar. The backroom staff, Sammy's backroom staff, must be worried about Multi. Neeks put in the Discord earlier on, and I shared this stat. Multiple times in yesterday's match. Let me find it, right? Because not everybody is privy to our X account. If you're somebody who watches Caribbean Cricket Podcasts, most of the information we send actually goes on our X account. Yeah, bun Elon Musk and all that, but we had that before Elon Musk. So on the X account, we posted, where is it? Let me find the tweet. Okay, this is the West Indies ODI bowling stats since January 2024. Okay, Alzari Joseph has taken 22 wickets at 27 apiece. Jaden Seals has taken 15 wickets at 28 apiece. Gudakesh Multi has taken 15 wickets at 42 apiece. Matthew Ford has taken 14 wickets at 36 apiece, but his economy rate is expensive. Shepherd has taken 8 wickets at 39. Chase has taken 8 wickets at 65. Graves has taken 4 wickets at 67. And Shamar Joseph has taken 1 wicket at 123. We have no blood clot bowlers. So you lot can message me. You can say this, you can blame it on that, you can blame it on this, you can say if Hope should have done that. We have no blood clot bowlers. Unless we put up 350 runs plus, you can't ask men with those stats to defend anything. Man were messaging me yesterday going, why is Justin Graves bowling at the back end? Who else was supposed to bowl? No one else was controlling nothing. Graves' economy was under 6. Graves ain't supposed to even be bowling 7+ overs. But men were just getting clarted all over the place. And it was like, well, boy, who else can we turn to? Neeks put it perfectly in the Discord, right? If only 2 of your bowlers since the January 2024 are going at under 30, which is Jaden Seals and Alzari Joseph, that means you're only guaranteed currently 20 out of 50 overs that might be good. I shouldn't even say guaranteed. You're basically saying 20 out of 50 overs might be good. And the rest is open to debate. You can't win many matches like that. And I'm not blaming Sammy for this. I'm not blaming Hope for this. I'm not blaming anyone particularly for this. I am saying, though, that we need to find bowlers. But here's the thing. Who you really calling anyways? Go back to Super 50. Who you calling? Men are saying to me, Mash, we need a leg spinner. Name one then. Name one. We done tried Hayden Walsh Jr. We done tried Yannick Carrier. You lot will then say stuff like, Micah McKenzie looked good in the breakout league. Oh, shut up, man. Oh, shut up. You want that young youth to jump from breakout league to international cricket? You already done this is why Sammy and Cole called up Jadea Blades, because they probably looked at the bowling and said, well, who can we call? Jadea Blades at least offers left arm angle. Let's call up that young youth because he offers something different. There ain't really anyone. Look what's happening to the A team right now. I turned on the A team match earlier on, about, I don't know, maybe an hour ago. O'Shane, how many no balls has O'Shane Thomas bowled now? Is it 15 in the match against South Africa? 15 no balls. 15 no balls. So, like, people always go, oh, Mash, you're so negative. It's not even negative. It's not even negative. Is it really, okay, am I really negative when I'm the same person who got up at 6:30 in the morning and went to Cardiff to watch these men play in Wales and then got home at midnight? I'm not negative. I'm the same person who will be rallying all three. I flew to Ireland to rally. I went to Birmingham to rally. I went to Wales to rally. I'll be at the Oval tomorrow rallying. It's not negative. It's just saying what's happening. No, I'm not. Nobody is owed my undying loyalty. Like, I'll go. You've got my loyalty in terms of support, but I'm just saying what's happening. And I'll still go and support you, man, but I'll say what's actually happening. One of the things that I always say, everyone's like, this is supposed to be a live call-in show. This man's just talking. I'll tell you why I've not gone to the call-in yet. I'm going to go in a minute. Nine more people in the live. We're on 191. 9 more people in the live, and I'll drop the link in the thing. Share it. Facebook, Snapchat, OnlyFans, Foot Fetish. Share it wherever you lot go in your little Vice dark web corners. Say Caribbean Cricket Podcast is live right now. Yeah, I don't even know what I was saying. Anyway, so that's the ODI match. That's the ODI match. We're going to talk about some more stuff in the call-in as part of the show. Just seen the T20 squad. If you're just joining us and you don't know, the T20 squad is being released. So Pooran has opted out. Somebody messaged me from Trinidad saying, have you heard what happened on the weekend? I'll just leave it like that. Because it's not my business to talk about, but whatever. But anyways, the point is Pooran's opted out. Chase is going back after England because he's got to get ready for the Test series. The press release says that King has asked to be released from Ireland. I think that's a lie. I've got a feeling that King is also part of that Test camp, but because they haven't released the Test squad for Australia, they can't say in the press release that King's also going back to get ready for the Test camp, because then that then alludes to people that King is going to be in Test contention. I'm reading between the lines. Maybe I'm putting 2 and 2 together and getting 17, but I reckon it means that King's is also part of that Test camp as well. It doesn't make sense otherwise. Like they said, King asked to be released from the Ireland squad. I don't know. I've got a feeling he's possibly involved in the Test camp. Russell is here just for England. Gooley is coming Jid Gooley is coming over for the Ireland series. Carty is being kept on for the Ireland series. So Carty and Gooley will replace Chase and King. Sammy, Floyd Reefer, and Ravi Rampal will leave after England T20s. And Donovan Miller, big up Donovan Miller. And is it Ryan Griffiths? Have I got the right name there? Let me go back. Rayon Griffiths, not Ryan. And Donovan Miller and Rayon Griffiths will coach the side in Ireland for the T20s. So yeah, quite a lot of changes. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you make one person the head coach of everything, because it as Santoki and I said when we did a video on Sammy becoming head coach, we looked at the diary and said, how's he going to go from format to format to format? The diary is absolutely swamped. Like I don't know how Sammy's even going to touch St. Lucia over the next 3 to 4 months, because even after the Australia test finish, then there's some ODIs, and there's some T20s, then straight to America to do Pakistan stuff. Like there's just then CPO. Like I don't know how this man's gonna have a break at any point. But they must have planned for this. They must have known when they gave him the test job that they're going to have to find a way. So this is kind of giving us a foreshadow, therefore, I guess, of how this is going to work. So Ryan Griffiths will be the head coach for the Ireland T20s, and maybe this is what happens going forward. Rovman is in the squad. Obviously, he's been doing some press with TVJ, ill-advised press, I might say. Obviously, that will get out. So Rovman did an interview over the weekend basically saying that teams are too obsessed with data. I think that's an ill-advised comment to make. I think that's an ill-advised interview to give. But he's in the T20 squad all the same, so clearly it might not matter that much. So yeah, let me talk on Pooran for a second. This is a techie one. And I'm going to start off by saying I think Nicholas Pooran is the best. Okay, there's maybe a question mark if we look at it in terms of Shea Hope. But Nicholas Pooran is our most talented player in the region. Obviously, we'll never see him play tests. So people will always say you can't prove it. He never played test cricket, blah, 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 blah. But when I talk about naturally gifted players, Pooran is the best in the region. Nicholas Pooran hasn't played an ODI for the West Indies since the World Cup qualifiers. So we're now 2 years deep since he last played an ODI. He's just pulled out of the ODIs, or it's been announced that he has requested to be not selected for the England and Ireland T20 series because of a strenuous IPL. If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me in the comments, but I don't remember Pooran playing the Bangladesh. Did he play the Bangladesh T20s? Before I continue my point, did he play the Bangladesh T20s? Can someone confirm? Because in my head, I don't remember him playing those. Can anyone just remind me, did Pooran play the Bangladesh T20s in December in the back end of 2024? I feel like he didn't. Oh, he did. Okay, he did. Right, okay. So he played the Bangladesh ones. So that possibly dilutes my point slightly, but we'll press on all the same. Here's my point, right? Pooran has asked to be removed from the England and Ireland T20s because of a strenuous IPL. Let's just assume that's the real story. And I can only assume that's the real story because that's what the press release says. If it's not the true story, well, the ball is in Pooran's court to come out in the press and say, that's not the reason why I'm not there. Ball's in his court. Today I found out that Shafane Rutherford, after his Gujarat Titans team was knocked out of IPL, flew immediately to London to join the West Indies team, and he's gonna play in tomorrow's third ODI. Right? Say it again. After Rutherford's Gujarat Titans side was knocked out, he flew straight to London to join the West Indies team, and he will likely play in the third ODI tomorrow. Romario Shepherd has been named in the T20 squads for England and Ireland. His IPL side is in the final, RCB, and he's been named in the T20 squads for England and Ireland. None of this is to say that Pooran can't take a rest. None of that's to say that. If Pooran wants to spend time with his family, like any professional, he is allowed to say to, and West Indies aren't his boss because he doesn't have a central contract, Cricket West Indies, but he's allowed to say, you know what, allow me in it. I want to rest. But here's the thing. Pooran's going to go to Major League Cricket. He's got a Major League Cricket contract. If I'm not mistaken, Major League Cricket starts like around the 20th, 22nd of June. Something like that, right? So Pooran has said, I had a strenuous IPL. Please, I want to rest because I've had a strenuous IPL. I'm not available for West Indies to play those T20s against England and against Ireland. But he will go straight to Major League Cricket. Here's my thing, and listen very carefully. Oh, sugar. Apparently, does Major League start on the 10th? I thought it started on the 20th, you know. Anyways, no, it can't start on the 10th because Holder's in does it? Holder's in our T20 squad. Anyways, whatever. Here's the thing. Regardless of all that, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You see, I don't know how old people are who listen to this podcast, right? And listen to the various different shows and so on and so forth. But I grew up watching a West Indies cricket team. I grew up in the Chris Gale era, right? Like when I was a youth man, or what I consider to be a youth man, I grew up in the Shiv, Gale, Sarwan era, even Lara, right? Even Lara. When Gale made it big in T20 cricket and trailblazed the path, I saw that ESPN thing, by the way, the top T20 cricketers of all time. It's not Rashid Khan. The top T20 cricketer of all time is Chris Gale. Without Chris Gale, you don't get the trailblazing of T20 as a format. Don't ever disrespect the universe boss. Chris Gale is the best T20 cricketer of all time. He's the one who popularized the format. There ain't no one above him on that list, right? But that's another story for another day. Even when Chris Gale was mashing up T20 cricket and trailblazing, the man still found time to represent West Indies. He still found time to represent West Indies. Everyone loves to pretend, oh, Gale didn't do this, he didn't do that. Gale played Test cricket up till 2014, 2015. Gale made himself available for the ODI side to go to World Cup qualifiers in 2018. Didn't have to, made himself available. He made himself available for T20 cricket. Right? I'm not saying that Pooran has to be held to that standard. But what I am saying is this. The people like Gale, they made their legacy in West Indies cricket. So when Chris Gale's career finished, we know him as the universe boss, yes, because of his T20 exploits. But the man mashed up Test cricket as well, 2 Test triples, averaged over 40. ODI cricket is the West Indies leading run scorer of all time in ODI cricket. Mashed up that format as well, and then mashed up T20 cricket, both franchise and internationally for the West Indies. So Gale's legacy is both with the West Indies and in franchise cricket. And Gale and the Bravos and the Pollards and the them man, they did this whilst Cricket West Indies were trying to fight them down at the same time. This generation, this new generation, they're not even getting a fight down. They're not getting a fight down from no one. Cricket West Indies don't even fight them down. They're just like, oh, you want to go play that tournament? Here's your knock. You can go play it, you know, because they're not even getting a fight down. And we're having to beg them to come play. Now, come on, man, you've got to do better than that. You've got to do better than that. We shouldn't have to be begging a man to come play for the West Indies cricket team unless West Indies cricket doesn't matter. Unless we have to face the harsh reality that West Indies cricket doesn't matter anymore. And that to certain man, it doesn't mean a damn thing to them. It ain't my nation. I'm not your slave. It ain't my massa. It don't mean nothing to me. So here's the thing, right? Here's what I think Pooran should do. And the thing is, someone's going to send this to him and it's going to make it look like I'm fighting him down. I'm not even trying to, because to me, this is just facts. Here's what Pooran should do. Do what Henrik Klassen did today. Just retire from international cricket. I think Pooran turns 30 soon, like in a year or so, maybe 8 months. Retire from international cricket. retire. You might as well. You barely play it as it is. You might as well just retire from international cricket, and no one would hate him for it, because at least if Nicholas then retired from international cricket, I think at least everyone could go, well, we got him whilst we had him. Now he's just going to become like he already is, but now he can just become a franchise superstar. And I wouldn't hate man for it. Make as much P as you can. Create generational wealth for you and your family and your generations. But we're not supposed to be begging people to play for West Indies. We're not supposed to be begging. And it feels like we have to beg for Pooran to come and play. Like when we get to the World Cup in 2027, and we are going to get to the World Cup, even if we have to go through qualifiers, we're going to get to the World Cup in 2027. If Pooran will come back for that World Cup, but I'll feel a certain kind of way. Obviously, I'll be like, well, he's got to play, but he will come back for that World Cup in 2027, ODIs. But will he come back having basically not played any ODIs for 4 years? When we go to 2026 T20 World Cup, Pooran will be there. And we will want him to play because he's better than everyone else in the team. But man are just picking and choosing. And I'm not no nationalist. I'm not saying you must do your duty for your country. After all, West Indies isn't a country, right? But come on, man. Come on, man. I don't know. If this was the fight down era, I'd be saying, you know what, Pooran, just go do your thing and go make your money, because true say Cricket West Indies are fighting man down. If it was the fight down era, I'd be talking differently. But no one's even getting a fight down. That's what hurts for me. I think that's what hurts. No one's even getting a fight down. Anyways, people, so enough of the opening monologue. Enough of the monologue. Last week, or whenever I did the last show, some people messaged me and said, Mash, you've got to cut people off. They're coming on the show and talking for too long, and they're not knowing like when to shut the hell up. So here's the thing, people, and this is rich coming from me, given I just did a 37-minute opening monologue, but then it's my podcast, right? Here's the thing, people. You've got to know when to shut up. Not me, you lot. You've got to know when to say, yeah, I've made my point. Let me just shut up now. You've got to have that inner device in your head which says, yeah, let me just wrap this up. So if you can't wrap up your point in 3 minutes, I'm going to have to move it on. There were some comments, though. So Windy Fanatic says, Sammy needs to be fired unceremoniously like everyone else before him. He shouldn't have been elevated to head coach for all 3 formats in the first place. Yeah, like, what's he done that means he should be fired so far? We performed better in the World Cup than we've done in the last 2 editions of the World Cup before that. So you can't say based on T20s he should be fired. We got to the Super 8s. Need I remind you that in the World Cup before that, we didn't even get to the World Cup. We got knocked out in that first round. And the World Cup before that, we won 1 game in 5. So if you're basing it on T20 cricket, that comment doesn't make any sense. If you're basing it on ODI cricket, well, 2024, we went 6 wins, 6 defeats. So based on our wretched ODI form in general, that doesn't make any sense either. And if you're basing it on tests, well, you've not even had a test match yet. Like, when people make comments like this, and I'm no Sammy, I'm not here to defend Darren Sammy, but what I will say is this, at least, like, have some facts behind you. Like, if you just don't like the man, say you don't like the man. But the comment don't make any sense. It's better if you just say, I just don't like him, because at least then we can just put it down to, well, it's just an emotional statement. You don't like the man, and so be it. Thank you to Anish for the super chat. Anish says, are you coming to India for the West Indies test in October? Impossible. The only way I would come to India to watch West Indies is if somebody else was going and it was like a group trip. I don't think there's 2 countries in the world like in terms of sport that have never appealed to me to want to visit. India's one, and that's no disrespect to India. Never appealed. It's just never appealed to me to go. Australia's the other one. It's never appealed to me to go to Australia. So never say never though. Like if a group of people said, Mash, we're going India, tour of India, let's go, then I'm on it. But I'm not doing a solo mission. I'm not doing a solo mission to India. And I'm definitely not doing a solo mission to Australia. I'm thinking about New Zealand though. I'm thinking about New Zealand in the back end of 2025. So yeah. Anyways, have I put the link in yet? Yeah, Australia's got like I don't even like ants, much less. These times in Australia, you go to bed these times in Australia and you don't even know if like a snake's gonna crawl into your bed. These times in Australia, you go to bed and you don't know if a kangaroo's gonna start just punching you up in your sleep. Like it's long. Tarantulas and all that just crawling up and down in your bed in the nighttime. We don't want any of that. We don't want any of that. Kangaroo just putting me in their pouch and taking me to the outback, punching me up. It's long. It's long in Australia. Right, okay. Yeah, see, Raku says Australia's got like the top 10 venomous snakes in the world. Do you know what I mean? Imagine. Snakes, you know. That's how I know Australian men are built different. That's why they're so ruthless on the cricket field, because their day to day, they're just worried about snakes. Anyways, right. Okay, so we got 3 people in the background in the chat. I'm warning all 3 of them that they've got to be able to make their point quickly and jump straight off. These times, though, I'm still reading about Australia. So Australia's got saltwater crocs that eat people. This is nuts. I've just seen a crazy comment. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me do this because I forgot that I can just like have the comments come up on the screen. That comment from it's gone now. There was a crazy comment from George there, which I can't read out. Whether I agree or not is irrelevant. I can't read it out. Okay. Okay, 1 second. 1 second, people. I'm just oh boy. I need to mark some assignments, you know. Right, okay. Right, Lewis is up first. He is up first. Yes. Let's bring him on. Yes.
Hello there, Mash. How you going, mate? You alright?
I'm very good, thank you.
No, very much, mate. So anyway, Mash. So one thing I want to talk about for a while on the show. Been quite busy with university, if anything. But anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about was really about the merit in the domestic system. Has nothing to do with anything happening. But just one thing that I've been thinking about the system itself. Is there so, Mash? I'm going to ask you this first because I think it's interesting. Do you think there is merit in the domestic system? Do you think that the performances in for example, the first class season, the Super 50, is there merit in for people to get into the international squad? Or is there no in the domestic system? Is the domestic system good enough for people to actually, I perform it? But if there's no merit in the domestic, how do you say, the squad? Oh my god. They're trying to shut me up, mate. They're trying to shut me up. But anyway, do you think there's merit in the domestic system, Ash?
Okay, listen, your internet is moving crazy right now.
Oh my god.
The crux of what you were saying was, is there merit in the domestic system? Right.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm gonna throw two responses to that, which I think are quite instructive. And actually, before I start, let me just check my evidence before I make this comment, because I just want to check that. Give me a second, Louis. I just want to check something. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. So we have just the West Indies A team are playing South Africa A at the moment.
Sure.
Right. And Kevlon Anderson has just spent a season beating up the whole domestic system in the Caribbean, right? To the point where you've largely had the Guyanese and a few others saying Kevlon should go straight into the test team versus Australia. Now, some of you may remember that I recorded a video on Kevlon Anderson about maybe a month ago saying, whoa, relax. And the point I made, if people think I'm lying, go back and watch the video again. And the point I made in that video was, call him up to the A team versus South Africa A, and let's just see if he can replicate that form at the A team level before we feed him to the Lions against Australia. Now, I'm not saying he's done badly. I mean, I think in his first innings against South Africa A, he got out for 3, maybe. And in the 50 over matches, I think he got maybe a 40 odd or something like that. But the point is, he hasn't dominated, right? So my point was, and the reason why I use that point to start off with is, you cannot or shouldn't fast track someone from our domestic system after one season into international cricket, because our domestic system isn't fit for purpose to be fast tracking someone through after one season. If somebody mashes up the domestic season 2, 3, 4 seasons in a row, that's different, because that shows that you're above the level of that particular domestic season.
Sure.
But our talent pool is so small that we're now at a stage where we just call up people after 7 games and say, right, you're ready.
Absolutely.
That's point one. Point two. Yesterday at the press conference after the ODI, I said to Keacy Carty, as usual, there was no Caribbean media there except me.
Of course.
I said to Keacy Carty, listen, Keacy, you've just scored your 4th ODI 100, your 3rd in quick succession. I said, obviously, you held the drop in the test side, but we have the Australians come in very shortly after this ODI series. Are you hoping to get selected into that test squad? And Keacy's response to that was as follows. He said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, obviously, I got dropped from the test team because of poor form. And then he said, I went back to the domestic level and I didn't mash it up. I didn't beat it up, and others scored more runs than me in the domestic, in the 4-day championship. And so Keacy said, it's only right that those people get an opportunity before me, because I didn't deliver in the domestic game or in the domestic championship this season. And I respected that, because I thought, okay, I hear you. Meanwhile, in my head, I was thinking, yeah, but you've just scored 3 international centuries. I don't care what format of cricket it's in. I don't care what format of cricket it's in. Your 3 international centuries mean more than whatever anybody just did in that 4-day championship for the whole season. But Carty, to be fair, said, well, I didn't really do it in red ball this season. So if I don't get picked, I don't get picked. So that's my answer to your question.
No, absolutely, Mash. And one thing you mentioned before, actually, which is, for me is the biggest point. If there is no merit in the domestic system, then what can you do with the youth? Like you said before, I don't know if you said it on Discord or here or whatever, you said somewhere that you need to take the youth to England. If you can't develop them in the Caribbean, you need to bring them to England or anywhere where they can actually get proper coaching and to develop. Because we see the breakout league, it's nice to actually get to see new people, new talent. But really, if someone like Kevin Wickham is averaging 40 after 3 years, and then he goes to the A tour against South Africa. He didn't score any runs. Then you see Kevin Anderson. Didn't score any runs. Athanaze, as usual, he's also struggling quite a lot. So really, end of the point is, if merely domestic performance isn't enough, then my answer to that really is what Sammy is doing right now in a certain way, right? I don't know if OJ Shields and O'Shane Thomas should be playing in the 18 tour right now, but you have to say, at least it's like, you know what he do. He's consistently fast at the very least. Like, you look at O'Shane and you think, well, that's pace, so it works. He's absolutely dreadful. So Sammy, in my head, Sammy's trying to pick the players with experience and that have played international cricket. Because if the domestic circuit doesn't have any, then at the very least, get someone with international experience. So really, for my mind, yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy work to pick Shields of anyone. But at the end of the day, what are you picking people in? If there is no merit, that is debate. It's controversial, by all means. It's controversial. I'm not saying I'm right. If you assume there is no merit in the domestic system, who can you pick? The only pick you have is an international cricket. That's all. So really, what are your options?
Well, first things first, Louis, I'm going to have to mute you from this point because you're sounding like R2D2. So
fair enough. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to mute you because of the internet. But I think ultimately, though, to kind of wrap the point is that to answer Louis' point. I mean, maybe you lot should answer it in the comments after Louis. After Louis jumped off, I think take this one to the comments, people. I think.
Sorry.
I mean, we're currently in the data era now, right? So, in the same way how England picked Shoaib Bashir and everyone cusses and says, but Shoaib Bashir isn't doing anything in domestic cricket to warrant being picked, but his international record is exceptional, right? Given his lack of experience. So, Jadea Blades has not done enough domestically to warrant being in an international squad, but maybe because our domestic system isn't fit for purpose, maybe you have to look at someone like a Jadea Blades and say, well, we're just going to call him up because he fits a lot of metrics that suggest he has a potential to be someone, and we can't, like, he just has to leapfrog a whole bunch of people. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that that's something to discuss. Listen, Louis, I'm going to go to the next caller because I'm mindful of the time. But continue that one in the chat.
All right, bye.
Cool. Right, people. You can continue that one in the chat, I guess. What do you do when your domestic system isn't fit for purpose? People often think I'm joking when I say it, but I mean it's no joke whatsoever. I do not believe that there are 15. I don't think we've got 15 good players in the Caribbean across all formats of cricket. I don't think there's 15. I'm not saying that they have to play one particular form. I'm just saying just find me 15 good players. And by good, I mean like good. I don't mean like average, sometimes good. I mean good. You got 15. Let me think if I can. Let me try and come up with a list right now. Good. I'm not talking average. I'm talking good. I'm not even sure I can find 10. Right. Let me come up with a list right now. Pooran, Holder, Alzari Joseph, Shea Hope, Jaden Seals. That's 5. Kimar Roach, 6. Hayley Matthews, 7. That's it. We've got 7 good players in the whole region. And Hayley's the best one out of all of them. We got 7 in the whole region, and one of them's Gal. That's 7 in the whole region. In the whole region. We don't even have a team of 11. 7, you know. I'm not even. Thing is, you lot will think I'm bantering you off. I'm not. I can't put Carty in the list because that's a recent thing. That's recency bias. Carty's not done it over enough of a period of time for me to go, yeah, Carty. Same for Rutherford. Rutherford's not done. Rutherford had a good 2024. Let me wait to see if he can back it up with a strong second half of 2025. So I hear Rutherford and Carty, but they're just under that list for me because I need to see some level of consistency. 7, you know, in the whole Caribbean. 7? Oh my God. Oh God. Yeah. And then people think I'm joking when I say call Hayley Matthews up to the test team. People think I'm joking when she's one of our 7 good players in the whole region. Like you don't think I'm joking about this. Should I have said Akil Hussain? Is there an argument for Akil? Number 1 bowler in T20. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I should have thrown Akil Hussain in there. Maybe there's an outside conversation for Akil Hussain. Anyways, let's move on. Next call is Fireball.
Good evening, Mash. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
All right. Let me first start off with the Pooran thing. We need to remember Pooran, his mentors are all the people from the fight down era, like Narayan and Pollard and Russell.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm sure I'm not Pooran's agent, but I'm sure that mentally don't kill yourself out for the West Indies because them will drop you and besmooch you.
Yeah.
When it's convenient. It probably is a different era, but that's the lessons Pooran's learning from his seniors.
I agree with that. I could imagine he's heard things for his career like you don't owe these men anything, particularly after the captaincy. After the captaincy part stopped, I think possibly he thought, wait a minute, I've given all I can for West Indies. I've even captained West Indies. Now it's time for me to go sort myself out.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I hate it. I would rather see him play against Ireland than MLC. I'm not watching any MLC game, but with his elders being Narayan, Pollard, Russell, I see where he gets that from. Speaking of the IPL,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, we could have done. I'm not saying that Russell would have been a fix-all button, but Russell probably would have won. I believe would have won the Ireland series 2-0 if Russell was playing in Ireland.
Wait, ODIs?
Okay, probably not. Russell, not Russell. Rutherford. Sorry, Rutherford.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, man had to play for IPL. Now he's coming for a dead rubber against England. I'm like, we could have done a decent number 5. Let the weekend go on.
Yeah. I mean, Carty did say again in the press conference. I think it was one of the English journalists asked him this point, and they said something like, I can't remember what the question was, but Carty's point was, one of me and Shay had to push on early because like Shafane's not here, so there's no number 5 who can, like, without Shafane's explosiveness, the onus was on one of him or Shay, to go early. So Carty said the decision was like, I'll go early, as in try and go hard, because he said the argument was either one of us went hard early, or we carried on doing what we were doing and tried to go hard at the back end. But he said the assessment was made that if they left it to the back end, they'd possibly put too much pressure on themselves to have to go big. Whereas it was like, you want to try and put pressure on England by going big earlier, also knowing that if they tried to go hard at the back end, then one of them got out, knowing that the level of explosiveness isn't there, then they would have wasted out overs. So I got it. I got his extra. I don't know if I've explained it well, but ultimately his point was we miss Rutherford.
Yeah, Rutherford is a big miss. Like, I wish we were like Australia and England and said, we don't care about IPL. Come home, come and play for Ireland. But we, unfortunately, if one of our best players basically treating us as a side hustle, we can't. And Rutherford. At least Rutherford came right after, I guess. I'll take the win. I'll take the small wins if I get them. I would have liked him to leave early, like England, Australian man, but I'm not gonna cuss him too hard on that one. You know, he'll get blacklisted from IPL, which will hurt him more than England, Australian man anyway. So
I do wonder, just even though Rutherford's come early and will play the third ODI, I don't think we should expect any miracles from him. I'd love to see it, but I think it's going to be hard for a man who just arrived today, to suddenly go into an ODI tomorrow and light the place up. But I'd like to believe that he'll get more than Hetmeyer's 4.
yes.
So
Yeah. Right. My last point will be on Moti. Moti has been down bad in both Test cricket and ODI cricket for a little while now. His form hasn't been great. In Test cricket, even though I think it was a bit harsh, he essentially got dropped for working, right?
Yeah.
In ODI cricket, I would say bring Akil back, but will Akil want to come back ODI cricket because he might get unceremoniously dropped himself after he woke up qualifies? And I might say, I didn't know I want my back. Let me stay here in Trinidad and cool myself. I don't know if Akil's interested. He could come back. We could try work in ODI cricket. I don't know. But I think Moti's spot is probably more secure in ODI cricket than in probably any other format. Because he just don't have the bowlers.
This is the thing. So I haven't bothered yet to look at who our options are. Say they decide, right, Moti's out of form, we need to find someone. I haven't started studying yet who that person would be. But we're getting to that point where we have to start thinking about, so who would be another spinner? Not because I'm saying we must get rid of Moti. That's not really my point, but we at least need to, he needs someone putting pressure on him. Like I was saying earlier on, there's no other spinner in the squad, so I expect Moti to play tomorrow at the Oval because there's no one to replace him. Or they could. I'm assuming that Matthew Ford is going to hold a drop, and Shamar Joseph is coming in for Matthew Ford, which means Moti keeps his place because there's no other spinner on the sidelines to replace him. So by Australia ODIs, they need to at least have another spinner to at least put Moti under pressure for his spot. Yeah. Right now, Moti knows he's playing regardless, but he's not playing like somebody who should be playing regardless.
Yeah. He's playing like a bits and pieces player, which we do not need. A man could bat a bit, a bowl a bit. We don't need a player like that right now. Right now, we need someone who can either bat or could bowl the allocation. Bits and pieces players won't help us win ODI cricket. We can't score. We struggle to score 300 runs, and we can't defend 250. So yeah.
Although we must remember, though, not that it helps, but we must remember it's away from home, and because we're starting from such a low point in ODI cricket, I do still think that we have to be mindful that this is baby steps for this side. This side hasn't learnt yet how to win. We just started learning how to win at home. We ain't learnt yet how to translate that to away from home. So I do think that we have to remember where this is the only defense I'm giving them. We have to remember where they're coming from and what stage of the journey they're in. But also, I want to remind, where's the next World Cup? Does anyone? Oh, it's in South Africa. South Africa and Namibia. So arguably, they shouldn't even be trying to find too many spinners because we're not going to need too many spinners in South Africa. So yeah. Anyways, we shall see.
We shall see. I'll say one thing as well. England took this series very seriously. they know they also at risk of going qualifiers, and qualifiers for them would be basically be code red for England. All them town houses in Chelsea and all these posh areas in London would be mashing up. It can't go qualify, so they brought up all the big guns. The bowler was a bit weak due to injury, but they do need good bowlers to beat West Indies. England took us seriously.
Yeah, they did. They didn't treat us like light work. And remember, they put us into bat on Sunday. And one of the reasons why they would have put us into bat is because they wouldn't have rated our ability to put up a score. So, to be fair, I reckon when England put us into bat, I don't think they were expecting us to make 308, and we should have made 330 minimum, given where we were at. So, in some senses, they actually probably outperformed England's expectations.
Yeah.
So, we gave them a game, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyways,
made them sweat a bit. Yeah.
I'm going to go to the final two and wrap this one up.
Yeah, take care.
All right, no worries. Right, where are the moderators? Where are the moderators in this chat? Imagine as Fireball's talking, I saw this. Travis Pessoa. Oh, hey, where's the mods? Where's the man? Are just crashing out on the mains in the chat. Nah, this is crazy right now. Someone mods. Who's a mod? Who's a mod in the chat right now? Let me see if I can. I think I have to be on YouTube to try and. Is there a mod in this chat right now? Man are trying to go to war in the chat. I know that's two Jamaicans as well, you know, because only it must be a Jamaican who put that, because only a Jamaican would be unruly enough to put something like that in the chat. Is that person still in the chat? Is that person still here? You must be a Jamaican. A Jamaican is the only nationality I know that would be unruly enough to do this. So, Ryan's lucky he weren't poking him in the chest as he was saying it as well. Hold on. So Travis also said, no woman can play like man. No day. So stop your disrespect. The men for Haley. Kiss my effing teeth. Travis is a real man. Travis said, no woman can play. No woman can play like man. That's what Travis is saying. Boy. Travis is crashing out right here on the mains. Right, people. I need to get a drink of water. Give me a second, people. Let me play the Parlay Pros ad to give me a minute to go and get some water, and then I'll go to Josh next. I was supposed to do a live. So Josh has his Instagram page, people. I want to say, what was it again? Is it JB Sports? I can't remember. Anyways, Josh will say when he comes on in a minute. So Josh has his own Instagram page. So I was supposed to do a live with him from Cardiff on Sunday. Was it Sunday or was it Birmingham? I can't even remember. Anyways, it got too busy. That media thing is no joke. The media rooms move mad stiff, you know. I turned up in the Cardiff one with my purple trousers on and my locks. I know them man were thinking, but what's going on here? This man ain't respecting media decorum. Right, I need to get a drink of water. So let me just where's this ad that I can play? Right, so people, Parlay Pros, by now most of you know. They are a company in Trinidad. They use a high-tech AI tool to look at trends, over time in a range of sports, Major League Baseball, NBA, although NBA is coming to an end now, NHL, soon to have cricket and all other sports on there. And they basically study that they use that their AI platform, high-tech AI platform, to algorithm platform, sorry, to look at all the trends and all the data to suggest to people what are the best bets to lay down. If you're somebody who's that way inclined, obviously I'm not trying to encourage anybody to do so, but if you're somebody who's that way inclined, they basically identify where there is value in making bets. It's up to you though, because you know how the betting thing goes already. If you're doing it, do it responsibly if you're going to do it at all. But for those who are so inclined, I'll just play an ad whilst I go and get a drink of water. Have you ever wanted access to a sophisticated sports analytical tool? One that allows you to study trends, patterns, lines on all your favorite teams and players in your chosen sport, whether that be the NBA, the NFL, the NBL, the WNBA, or any other sport for that matter. Parlay Pros are the right bet for you. Data-driven insights that allow you to flutter on sports without simple guesswork. Should you want to know more? Just click the link in the descriptor below and join that WhatsApp group chat to learn more about what you can gain from joining Parlay Pros. But as ever, Caribbean Cricket Podcasts, we don't do things, we don't tell you to have to do something. We always say that whatever you choose to do, make that your choice based on the clear information in front of you. If you want to elevate your sports betting experience to a whole new level, Parlay Pros are your guys. But whatever you do, always do things responsibly. You don't know, people. Caribbean Cricket Podcasts and Parlay Pros. We're out here. Yeah, we're out here. And I've got my drink of water. Yeah, so it's in the descriptor below if you're interested. If you're live right now, I'm sure you can click on the descriptor, join the group, listen to what they have to say for themselves, and then it's up to you. Josh, you're up next. Let's get into this. Right, 2 more callers, people. Oh, so 8 Frank says that tomorrow, hold on, tomorrow's going to get called off, rained off. Is that true? Let me look at the weather forecast. Josh, I'm coming. Just looking at the weather forecast. Okay, so tomorrow in London. What day is it tomorrow? Tuesday. Oh, wait, rain all day. Oh, bombaclat. Oh, rasclat. I might not even go tomorrow. It's literally saying rain all day long. 25%. Oh, no, drizzle. So, It starts drizzling from 9 o'clock for the whole day. Chances are, unless that changes overnight. If that weather forecast stays like it is tomorrow, I doubt we get a game tomorrow. But that's good. That means we get a draw and we only lose 2-0. I'll take it. So that's a good result for us tomorrow if we can get rain all day. Right, let's move. Josh is up next. Yes, Josh.
Yo, yes, how much?
I'm good. Sorry about
no gallop on the side, eh?
Say again?
Shabby just said no gallop on the side, no.
No gal.
Well, you know what's mad, Mash? I can't wait for the day Haley's captain of the West Indies men's team. You know that they're coming, right?
It's coming. It's absolutely coming.
We're in the era of respecting gender and respecting all sorts of you know what it is, man. That day is coming. The mixed sport is on its way. Just watch. It's coming.
If Cricket West Indies ever made the mistake of giving me a job and then they said something like, "Oh, we want you to go on Sportsmax and talk about whatever my job is," the first thing I would say is Haley Matthews should be in the men's side. And I'd just start saying it recklessly all over TV.
Yeah, man. I depend on that one. Hey man, I'll be a part of the marketing and we just put it everywhere. Come on. Anyway, I don't want to start the next in the Monday right up and they're Kingston 6 now. No nobody can look for me just yet,
Not yet.
Pooran, here's it with me. If he doesn't show up for that Pakistan series, wait. No, the T20 series in Australia against Australia, which I don't think he will, because if I have it right, the US Major League is going on at that time.
Yeah, so the T20s, yeah. Sorry, yeah, major. Yeah, because the T20s in Sabina are the 20th and 22nd or something like that.
No, 20th and 21st.
So let me just check. Yeah, so he'll be at Major League Cricket. Yeah, he's not playing those T20s.
All right. So let's watch this now. If he doesn't really show up on that, which as we speak, I don't think he will. It would say to me, just retire. Like you just said, just give it up. Just give it up. Don't even bother try, just give it up. Because then at that point, you have this one here. You basically were ruled by the Indian masters. Let's just keep it real. I mean, I'm Indian, but you know what I mean. And then you have the Australia tour, which is going on while the American League is going on. You care about your money, man. You did your thing. Just call it. Because at some point, Mash, there's only so much you can miss that people will give you the leeway. Because even you sound like you're on the border. You haven't reached there yet, but you're on the border. You get me?
I'm definitely on the border because I still have so much time for Nicholas Pooran, and I want to believe that Pooran still cares. But it's like that thing where, like, I'm struggling to find the evidence to prove it. So
then here's go ahead.
No, that's it. That's where I'm at. I'm struggling to find the evidence to prove it.
Because because I bet you he will show up for CPL then.
Yeah, he'll be at CPL. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so you can come out to Caribbean for CPL, but you can't come back to play for West Indies. Like you're showing your hands, basically. You know, you're showing your hands. I respect Pooran saying he's still the best player in the Caribbean as we speak, in my opinion. Don't care what anybody else have to say. Yeah, you can smoke on that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keacy Carty, I've been impressed with him. He gives me a lot of Shehu vibes. Like he and Shehu are almost like a reflection of each other in some kind of way. And why do I say that? In Shehu's early career, he was having similar issues to Katie.
Yes,
with
yes,
a slow strike rate and a slow turnover of strike. And ever since he went to do the T20 thing, Shea's game has gone up a bit, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing with Keacy Carty. I think he's gone slightly better and he will get better, I think. So I think they're both a reflection of each other. They're basically the same player, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think what was interesting, even in the first ODI, the rubbish one in Birmingham, it was the only brief moment, and I think Santoki said this in one of the videos we recorded. The only point in the match where we looked under any level of control with the bat was when Carty and Holt were together.
And then like a 45-run partnership.
More 35 or 40. And then similarly in Cardiff, Carty and Hope again put on the 100 and whatever it was partnership. And looked completely in control. Yeah. So if Rutherford, if what Rutherford did in 2024 wasn't an aberration and is actually a sign of who Rutherford is, then for the first time in God knows how long, West Indies will have a 3, 4, and 5 where you expect at least one of them to put up a significant score.
Yep.
And I'm like, people are in the chat right now. Tell me the last time in any format of cricket, no, maybe not T20s. Tell me the last time, no, just ODIs. Tell me the last time in ODIs West Indies had a 3, 4, and 5 where you thought they're going to do something. We probably have to go back to Sarwan times. But Sarwan stopped playing in 2013. So probably Sarwan times.
There was Sarwan, Shanlapal, and Darren Bravo. I think it was something like that. Or was it that?
Sometimes Shiv opened with Gale. So I need to go back and look at who was 3, 4, 5 in that team. So, but it's been a long... here we go. So Atush says Sarwan, Samwells, and Shandapal.
You go. That's what I was thinking.
Samwells, I'm not sure about Samwells.
No, but not sure about Marlon. Cool, but with Marlon, you will be sure of at least a 35 to 55, 60. Well, at least with Marlon, you're getting something. You get me? And in the odd time, you get the century. You get me? I think Marlon had like 12 centuries or something like that. You know?
Yeah, I need to go back and check how many centuries
Yeah.
Marlon had.
But
He probably
I
would have
want
had
to.
more if he. Anyways, let me shut up.
Yeah. Uh, um, Machel, I want to say something, right? You said something that struck my mind a while ago. This is my last point, so I can let you go into your last callers. Carty said they miss Sheffield. No. He said Hope and himself made a decision to go and attack earlier because they weren't sure of the attacking prowess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But who was next? Shimron Hetmire. So are you trying
to
tell me?
Right. So Josh,
So you're trying to tell me
I was
these men
waiting
have
for
no
someone
faith in
to
Shimron?
say. Right. So Josh, I was waiting for someone to say exactly what you're saying now. When Carty said it in the press conference, the first thing I thought in my head was, so you basically the team don't rate Hetmire then. They don't think that man can bat any amount of time or do anything apart from cow lash for maybe 12 balls.
Which is why I think he should have opened. And I know you're gonna disagree, but I think he should have. I think Shimon should have opened. Because at this point, because clearly Shimon's style of play is cow lashing. Let's just keep it real. That's all he does. Let's say, but he has a stylish way of cow. It's not like a Johnson Charles who just literally swing a bat around like a wild goose. You know what I mean? But at least with Shimon, there's more style about his cow lashing. So I think Shimon should have been the one to open, and I would have left Andrew there. Now I understand your point.
I wouldn't have been against that. If you're gonna sacrifice, and say pinch it, it makes sense why you would put Shimron there.
Yeah, I would have done it. It would have. I think it would have been a better risk, and also I think Shimon is better at the moving. But actually, we don't even know anymore because Shimon we don't even know. Even if Carty and them man, first of all, Shehu is the captain, and Shehu, nah, bro. When I heard that, I was like, wait, so hold up. Didn't Shimon come in next? But
he came in and was gone within 6 balls. So.
And then you're saying that Rutherford is coming in for tomorrow. That means he's going to hold.
I think so. I presume so.
Well, again, we are seeing that. By the way, like you said, the rain might get rained out, so Shimon might not even get a job. He might just get to chill in the rain. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk too much because next thing I have a Guyanese girl out here. She might kill me. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. What'd you say?
I have a Guyanese girl out here. I don't even know how I do this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. So when you say you got a Guyanese girl,
this is a thing linking. You know what I mean?
A linking thing.
Yeah, the linking thing.
So hold on. I've been doing big podcasts for coming up to 5 years, and I got guests on here talking about linking. These times, all I'm getting is uncles just messaging me about cricket. Nah, what's going on? What's going on? How come I can't link a Guyanese thing? What's going on? Josh is a real ninja out here.
Yeah. And I have Trini connection down there, So don't get me in no trouble. I don't want no Trini girl run me out now, Next thing I can't go back to the carnival, I can't get no wine down there. No, Mash. I'm not making you mash up my thing.
Anyway, Josh,
Mash, I'll let you do your thing. By the way, the page is JB Sports Review. Sports with the S at the end. So you guys can follow that.
Let me write it in. JB Sports Review.
Yes, I talk about all sports, everything sports. I love sports in general, so I just talk all sports. And yes, Mash and I, we'll figure out a time and place. It's really down to when Mash is available. I don't want to. I know his schedule is a bit crazy, so whenever he's ready, then we'll do the live. And yeah, we'll do it, man. So you take care of yourself, Mash, and we'll catch up soon, man.
Yeah, no problem. Take care.
Cheers, man. Okay, take care, man.
Cool.
I
had to kick Josh because he didn't. I had to kick 1 second, people. So I think somebody just said to me the link for Parlay Pros isn't working. So bear with me, people, because somebody said to me it's not working. So let me just get it for whoever wanted it. Not that I can remember. 1 second, people. 1 second. Let me get this thing. You lot entertain yourselves for a minute whilst I try and do this. Look at this thing now. Hold on. Okay, is it this one? Group info. Fam, I don't know. Hold on 1 second, people. Who was the person who was saying the link isn't working? Fam, look at me trying to. Yeah, Benton says bun it. But somebody said they want the link, so I'm just trying to fix it. But we bun it all the same though, Benton. We bun the thing. Right, anyways, there was actually some comments I need to put up. So first things first, Abhinav says, here's a super chat. I'm just providing support. So big up Abhinav for that. That's much appreciated. Thank you so much for the support. Jay says Major League Cricket will finish before the Australia T20 series. And I looked at that when I saw that comment come up. So Major League Cricket finishes on the 14th of July. And actually, the Australia T20 series starts 3 days later. So we'll see if Pooran makes himself available or not. And then Errol says the percentage on the weather forecast refers to coverage, not chance, which is correct. So the percentage currently on the weather forecast says 25% all day, right? Which refers to the amount of coverage of rain, not the percentage of chance of it raining, right? But in England, whenever I see that, I know that means it's going to be raining in some capacity, regardless of coverage. So we shall see. So thank you for that, Errol. Right. Right. Last caller. Shamar Grant is the last caller. And then we are done for today's show. It's nearly midnight. I need to go to my bed. Oh, my God. Right. Whoever was saying send me the link, I'll fix it after the live show. So if you're still in here, look out for it. Look out for it in a second. Anyway, Shamar Grant, let me bring him on. Yes, Shamar.
Good night, Mash. What's going on, my boy? You all right?
I'm very good, thank you.
Right. All right. So let me get straight into this thing. Because you said something earlier about back on the Pooran thing. When you was like, well, if we do make it to this World Cup come 2027, and then he makes himself available for you, he has to play. Yeah.
No,
not for me.
not necessarily. If it's based on pure talent, I would find it hard to argue how he doesn't get a play. But if he hasn't made himself available for 4 years and then suddenly turns up at a World Cup, I would find it hard to justify how he gets a pick. But then you kind of just look at Pooran and go, so I guess, Shamar, I'm going to assume, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I'm going to assume that your argument is by then we would have built up a team and a team ethos and a team culture, and he can't come in just because he's Nicholas Pooran.
You know, my argument is more in the present than that. My argument would be okay, let's say we do qualify for this World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we have to go through the qualifiers and get to this World Cup.
Yeah.
All of this time, Nicholas Pooran globe-trotting and up to now the tours for rest and personal reasons and all that. And we do get to this World Cup. No, Mash, I don't want to see it. Come 2027, buddy, go and play whatever league there is to play. I don't want you. You see, West Indies the board needs to nip all of this, what I deem as nonsense, in the bud. Because like you said, and one of the other callers said it, these guys ain't facing what Chris Gill and Sharwan and Shana Paul face, and the Bravos face. These guys actually has the option, whereas someone said to them, listen, go and make your money and just come and play with us. Just come and play for West Indies on your own, like not on your own time, but it's Gill and Sharwan and them may had either or. You know what I mean? That's not the situation. So when you're going to tell me that, okay, we got something that we literally need you to qualify for this World Cup, which then you're gonna be in the media saying, oh, all of a sudden you committed to West Indies cricket. Then you can't. You need rest, buddy. What was this? A millionaire superstar, buddy. I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. I don't
Okay,
want to hear
okay.
that.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. He's just played IPL, been in India for 3 months, right? He's got a wife and a young child. I want to say that his child's about 4 now, maybe 5. Is it not fair to say that as a sports player who's been away from home for 3 months, that he has a right to say, I just want to rest and spend time with my family and my young kid? Yes or no?
Yes. But so this is the thing. Okay, let's look at so this is specific to Nicholas Pooran. This is every international cricketer at the moment, Mash. Brother, and listen, who's some of the Australian stars that playing the IPL this time? Marcus Stoinis, for example. Yeah. I dare Marcus Stoinis. I dare him to tell the Cricket Australia he's not available for a series because he needs rest. I bet my head he would not tell Cricket Australia that. And he probably has a wife and kids as well.
Also, I think I'd go a bit further. I'd go a bit further though, because I think in Australia cricket, and this is the $1 million question we need to answer. In Australia cricket, players know that if they play hard and loose with Australia cricket and try and pick and choose when they will or won't play for Australia, their place is basically gone. Right? You can't, unless you've got an agreement with Cricket Australia where it's like, we're going to try and manage, like, so for example, before the World Test Championship final, they're like, right, we're going to try and manage your workload. And some of them didn't bother going to the Champions Trophy because they're trying to manage their workload before X, Y, Z. But if you turn around to Cricket Australia and just go, yeah, rest me for this one. Okay, I'll come up for that one. Now, rest me for this one. I don't think you get a place in the Australia team. So how then do West Indies make Nicholas Pooran fret to play for West Indies? Because I don't think we can.
Good. And I'm glad that you made that point, because that's where we're going with my next point. So for the Poorans and the Hett Myers and these guys who've seen that they are too big to play for West Indies, who brought them to the fore? We would who invest in them to bring them to the fore? You know what I mean? I feel cut your losses. You know what I mean? They're helping we win the World Cups anyway. We've been making noise for these guys for how long? We had the Poorans, and they didn't even qualify for the World Cup. So it's like we as West Indians would like to see them in the side because we deem it as our best sides when they play. But when we check the stats, Mash, they're not really helping us do anything. So what I would do is, what the board needs to do is to go back to the drawing board with contracts. I mean, from a younger age than that, because we can't just keep being a rotation belt for IPL players. As soon as we get Romario Shepherd, Rutherford. As soon as we get somebody that worth anything in the game, all of a sudden it's they're opting out to play IPL or to play this. We can't keep doing that. We got to stand firm as a board and say, well, listen, if you're gonna play with us, we get from on the 19 cricket or whatever, we gonna invest in you and we're gonna bring you up. But put something in that contract saying, listen, whenever we first though. We ain't gonna stop you from going to play. But buddy, we got England series starting here now. Come back. Look at what all the England players do. That is patriotism. And there's another thing. I don't feel West Indians got that anymore. I don't, because West Indies isn't a country.
Well,
It's not a
I was just about to say, because you mentioned that word patriotism, but you don't have to give away your age, Shamar, but I would argue that, and I include myself in this, anybody who is 40 and over, maybe late 30s, probably feels a level of patriotism to the notion of West Indies, right? I just don't know if the under 30s, the new generations, let's call them the under 30s, I just don't know if they care about a concept of West Indies. I don't know if I don't know if I buy it anymore. I don't know if I don't know if are you under 30, Shamar?
No, I'm 34, so
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So I put you in the bracket of people who might still feel like the concept of West Indies means something, whether in a sporting context, cultural context, political context, whatever it might be. I don't know, Shamar, if it's easy to convince someone under 30 to care about West Indies.
No, it isn't, because that's literally the only thing that has that that type of structure. Anything else in the Caribbean, we play as individual nations. So and people watching football is Barbados, Trinidad. Any other sport we compete as a separate entity. So it's like it would be hard to convince somebody like, well, all of a sudden, well, what's this? And before them, the men of yesteryear had the whole oppression thing going for them. There was a mutual fight to be had. Nowadays, that's not present. So them things that would have gel a Clive Lloyd side, like per se, not even gel Nicholas Pooran and Jason Holder, and you know what I mean? It's just different times. So yeah, that I feel like West Indies. I don't know. But I know I gotta move on, Mash. But I don't know if you got sent up to that, but it was another point of the one.
No, it's an interesting one. And it's as you were talking, I'm just thinking on it, not because I have an answer for you, but I think I was just thinking on it in my head as to I need to go away and think about this and come back with a bit more of a rationalized thought process. At the game yesterday, I was sitting in a West Indian section. And I don't know if anybody who was there is listening to this show, unlikely because it's nearly midnight in the UK, but there was only, I reckon, 3 people in our section who were under the age of 30. Everybody else was older than me, right? More or less. And and that was not to say that that's a bad thing, but I always, if I'm honest with you, Shamar, part of me worries because when the 60 plus generation of West Indies fans pass on, I'm not sure if the next generation have it in them to protect the West Indies as a cultural institution. I'm not sure we've got it in us. I actually think
no.
I think we might let it die.
I'm gonna say no because they're doing it as we speak. It's like you can't say it's something. It got to be something in you. So in me, Mash, and I mean, I could talk no. People might say I could talk no because I ain't getting offered $500,000 a $500,000 contract. But I feel like if I can see clearly that look, West Indies players the only players that do this. You got Bangladesh, man. Sri Lanka, man, arguably they're not the best paid, but when it comes to their country or that IPL thing, most of them men is fly back home because it's what we're gonna matter. Look at Hett Maya, for example. And then this is the thing: when that IPL sides then throw them to the wayside, then these same players just come to seek comfort back in West Indies cricket.
That's when Maya is one. That's when they come back. I used the example earlier on today. In a group chat, I used the example of Oldene Smith. So people may or may not remember that about 3 years ago, Oldene Smith got a big contract in IPL, relatively speaking. Think for Punjab or something like that. Now Oldene Smith can't get IPL deals. He can barely get
A Jamaica player.
He can barely get, he can barely get a Jamaica player actually, but he's barely getting T20 deals in some of the B leagues, much less. Now, this season, it was super interesting to me, Shamar, because Odean played pretty much nearly the whole 4-day competition. But I think the only reason Odean played that is because he's not on the franchise circuit at the moment.
He isn't. The
So
same
he's got to come back
Palmeiras
to us to
as well.
rebuild his game, to
Yes.
get back to internationals, to then get his name back out there, to then go back to franchise.
This is what I mean. We have a wheel. We just have a, what's that thing? What do you call it at the airport, man? What type of wheel is that? Like the
I don't even know what I said now, but
but you know what? A rotator belt. Is it?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The
Yeah.
conveyor belt.
The conveyor belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what we have a conveyor belt for T20 leagues and IPL. Because look, I'm willing to bet, right? Because you say something very serious there about the point where Rutherford are having 3, 4, 5. I reckon if we had Rutherford there in that side, we winning that game, the last game, and I think the first game would have gone different. You know, because these guys was actually showing the consistency that we've been looking for. The guy actually made the ODI team of the year. The IPL man said, what? No, we can't have that, boy. Come, money.
Yeah.
For Mario Shepherd, money, come. So, yeah, you got to do something about that, man. Like,
well, this is it. Listen, you've given me an idea of something to record, so I'll get thinking about that. But Shamar, it's minutes to midnight, so I'm going to call this one to an end.
Sorry, man.
That was an interesting conversation we just had. But thank you so much for ringing in.
Easy, brother. More thanks.
All right, then. Take care.
Respect.
Yeah. So thank you to Shamar, people. Just a few comments. As Shamar was talking, a few comments came in that I want to highlight. So Anthony Garcia says, "You're talking shit." What's killing cricket is Cricket West Indies not protecting their players. Yeah, I mean, give me an example, Anthony. I'm not gonna say that you don't know what you're talking about, but just give me an example. How are Cricket West Indies not protecting their players? One thing I will say in defense of Pooran, though, is that Pooran, we have to remember, Pooran doesn't have a central contract, so he can actually do what he wants. Like, as much as we can hold him to some kind of level of loyalty and say, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? He doesn't have a contract. So all the while you don't have a central Cricket West Indies contract, Cricket West Indies can't hold you to anything. But then what I would say then is Cricket West Indies should then have the right to say, if you don't have a contract because you don't want to sign a contract, because you want the market freedom, we therefore hold the right to just ignore you because you're picking and choosing when you will make yourself available. So respectfully, you go your way, we'll go our way, and we'll just ignore you. Now, I'm not saying that's what should happen. That's not what I would do. But Cricket West Indies also have the power to do that, right? At the moment, the relationship is imbalanced. But whatever the answer is, whatever the answer is right now, the relationship is not balanced. That much is clear. Right. So, where are we? Last comment I just want to read out. Cliff. Yeah, sorry, I know why I selected this one. So Clifford says, I do care, Mash, and I'm only 21. I grew up watching cricket and I'm always supporting regardless. Yeah. So what I think I need to do is I think I need to do a show which is just for the young generation, respectfully to the uncles, and I include myself when I say the uncle generation. I think I need to do a show just for the young ones, just for those who are under 25, under 30, and let's listen to them. I'm saying that like a real uncle. Let's listen to the young generation. Let's have an episode where we listen to the young generation and they tell us what they feel about West Indies cricket. Because for the longest while, we've had the olders telling us about the glory days and what they feel about West Indies cricket. But it's like it's like, sorry to bring Christianity into it right now. When God created the world, well, you lot don't know, my dad's a pastor. When God created the world, right, as human beings, we were left to be stewards of the world. And God told us, leave the world how leave it in a better condition than how I gave it to you. Sorry to get all Christianity on you people, but I grew up in a Christian household. Now, West Indies cricket, the olders, the 60 plus, my gen, the 40 plus, we're going to have to pass this thing on to the youngers at some point, right? What are the youngers saying? What are they feeling about it? How do they plan to protect it? How do they plan to evolve it? Because it's up to them at some point. We can't still keep hearing about the 80s in 20 years' time. By then, it'll be 2045. The youngers weren't around for that. So we need to have those conversations and see what the youngers are saying and what their plans are and what this means and how this entity will still exist in 20 years. But listen, it's midnight in the UK. No other show's thinking about those kind of things, you know. We often disregard the young lot and just say, oh, yeah, you lot weren't around. You don't understand it. You ain't done the hard yards. You don't really get it. But we forget that they're going to be us at some point, having to hold the crown and carry the torch and remind people of who we are and where we've been. They're going to have to take the torch for us at some point. So we can't just lecture down to them. We have to hear them. Anyways, people, that's obviously the teacher in me speaking. Right, people, listen, I'm out of here. It's midnight. I've got to get up for work in about 6 hours, so I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here, people. I've been Machel St. Patrick, one half the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. As ever, a couple of people were saying to me, where's the link for the thing for Parlay Pros? I've tried to edit it in the description. If it's not still working, then I'm not sure why, if I'm honest, because I put the link in there. But after I've logged off, I'll go back and look at it again. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who dropped a comment, super chat, came on the live to talk, etc. And we'll be back very, very soon. Santoki and I will be at the game tomorrow. We'll try to record some stuff at the Oval. I'll try and get an interview with the player because I don't think I'm going to any of the T20s. They're in like one of them's in Durham. I'm not going there. No way. One's in Southampton. I think that's on a school day. Then one's in Bristol. There's an outside chance I go to Bristol. An outside chance, but I'm not sure yet. So anyways, people, I've been Mashel St. Patrick, one half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Thank you as ever. If you'd like to support the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, obviously like, share, subscribe. We're on all the social media handles. Share it with a friend. If you've been trying to convince them to listen, share it with them and say, listen to this episode. This is why you should listen to it. And if you'd like to support the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, head to www.patreon.com/Carib Cricket. Every little bit helps and counts to growing the platform and keeping it going and keeping us on the air. I'm tired. I've been Mashel St. Patrick, one half Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Thank you and good night.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.